I need them work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in, but not getting. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night, got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here I'm screaming, okay, it's a dream. And I pray as a team, one day it'll be me. If I want it, then I'll get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. Looking on me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now. Swear to God, man, I'ma make it soon. Silence all the haters as they see us making moves. I do what I want, so I got nothing to prove. Staying motivated, teaching others what to do. I'm staying focused, my mind is open. They start to notice that I'm in motion. There is no potion, you're not just chosen. It takes devotion to stay composed, man. Never stop, there ain't no time to fall. Try to live, get it up, you got one life to pop. Thinking big, never small, cause you gotta want it all. When you finally get that call, you get ready, take it on. Need a hand out, I already stand out. Starting to advance now, ready to expand now. You don't have a chance now, cause we're in demand now. Make it by the grand now, feeling in command now. They're looking at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? Thanks for tuning in to another weekend update. I am TJ Lombardi, and of course, I would not be here if it wasn't for these individuals listed at the top of the screen. The Dying Breed, which has been my faithful Patreon community members. And honestly, you guys, I'm so grateful for you all, each individually. First off on the list, though, let's go ahead and recognize them. We have Warrior Bernard, Fighters, Maxwell, Foster, and Q. Soldiers, Nick, Little Panda Aiden, and Unwired. And of course, Defenders, LG, Miss Aoife, Jodan, Wilkie, and last but not least, Stephen Landry, the one and only Duck Commander of the Duck Squad. What's going on, everyone? Now, I am trying something a little different. Normally, I do my live weekend updates on Saturdays at 9:30, as you guys know, but I wanted to try something out. Not that I didn't want to do a live stream, but the fact is that I had another event that is going on basically at 10 a.m. It's an hour drive. Therefore, let's do the math. I felt it would be best that I try one of these recordings that StreamYard offers and see if I could get it to post at the same time so you guys got all the updates. So I'm sorry, I'm not live with you guys, but I am with you in spirit. And I'm super excited about this week, because this week was really rough for me as far as I didn't feel very well. I've been fighting a head cold for about 3 days. There's been a lot going on, but at the same time, I've gotten a lot done, and I'm super excited. I've gotten some feedback too, which I thought was really good. So let's go ahead and let's dive in with some updates. So of course, I want to start out with Golem Master. And why do I want to start out with Golem Master? Because I have loved writing this story. And it's a very slow burn slice of life with some epic action and adventure all tied into the story. So right now, I am currently sitting at a grand total. Sorry, you guys, it's late. It's about 2 hours past my bedtime already. We're sitting at a grand total of 73,938 words in the epic Golem Master. Now, what does that bring us down to? So basically this week, it means I wrote 13,131 words, bringing April's total to 42,326 words written. But the more important thing is that means that for this writing year, I have accomplished 204,156 words, which brings my career total to 887,178. And I'm super excited. And that's why I always encourage people to count your words, track them, write them down, keep that there, because when I see that 204,000 words, like, you get to reflect and think back to all those times when you wanted to stop. And when I have them broken down by months, November, I only wrote 15,000 words. December, 43,000 words. January, 49,000 words. And then, of course, February and March, we were only at the 20,000 with some change. And, of course, you get frustrated and depressed. And to look over and see that April, we were back to 42,000 words, which I normally have a goal of about 10,000 words a week. Now, granted, there are some professional writers, some full-time writers that are cranking out 10,000 words a day, 8,000 words a day. It's insane. But for me, I'm a working full-time guy, 9 to 5. I still try to get my workouts in. I still try to balance out and have a life here and there, while staying up late to do weekend updates. So with that being said, I get super excited and I get super encouraged when I get to see those results. I think the other thing too, one of the things that I've done differently with Golem Master is I've actually swapped up my routine, as you guys may remember. And now I've been doing a lot of writing on the weekends. So I didn't write at all on Monday. I think I got a very little bit in on Tuesday. Wednesday is when my head cold started, so I didn't do any. Thursday, I think I did maybe 500 words. And then tonight I was able to get a whole bunch done because I just felt really great. But it also came from a friend, someone who has read a very short excerpt of Golem Master. And yeah, so anyways, I switched up my routine so that I normally write on the weekends. I'm not going to be able to write tomorrow, so obviously that leaves Sunday. But more than likely, with everything else that I've got going on in my life, needing to do prep cooking and laundry and everything else, more than likely I'm probably going to have to go back to a schedule for next week where I'm writing in the evenings. But that's okay, because I'm getting super excited where we're at with the story. And that brings me up to the next point with Golem Master. And what is really funny is I was talking to Lucas about this tonight. And if you guys remember, Lucas is my first development editor that I was using. And then, of course, he got a little burnt out. He's taken a step back. But, of course, Lucas has been one of my best friends for years now. So he and I still talk and stay connected. But we were talking tonight. We were having a video chat and catching up. And I told him, I said, dude, I'm about 73,000 words in the Golem Master. And I remember when I was first writing The Dying Breed Hunters, that first book of my first series, I remember getting to that point of like that many words and thinking like, oh my gosh, like, sorry, I'm tired. Oh my gosh, like this is a lot. This is a huge book. This is massive. You know, this is so much, and so much has happened. And now as I'm writing Golem Master and I'm at this amount of words, I'm just like, this is nothing. Like, we still got to do this. We've still got to do this. This is still got to happen. We've still got to do that. We still got so much that needs to be done in book one. Like, dude, 73,000 words. Maybe we're halfway through this journey. I'm not even stressing it. And it's just super fun. And it's, as I've said before, I feel almost like every single episode or every single chapter is like getting to read an episode of Pokemon, where there's some chapters where they may not be as action and intensive. It's more character driven. It's more plot building or whatever. But at the end of the day, I've just loved writing this book, and I've loved spending time with these characters and getting to spend more time with them. Kyle Wilkie, who's up there, his character has now come into the fold and has gotten a few parts in it, which I think this week Patreon members will get those next 3 chapters up, so you guys can read it. We have we're just about to get to a new portion where a bunch of new characters will be coming in, so I'm super excited about that. What else do we got? But that was one of those things where, you know, when you get to that certain point of writing, depending on the story, I think a lot of people, when they start out writing, they are very focused on the genre, but they're very focused on, I need to write, my story needs to be 100,000 words, or I need 110,000 words, or I need this. And they're more stressed about the word count rather than they are how the book is going to be put together, or how the story is going to unfold, or just let the journey lead you where it wants to go. So that's been something that's been really fun and enjoyable to experience. And you know, I don't know really where the ending is for book one on this, but so far it's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for all the feedback you've given me on the Patreon. And I also, this other individual who commented just said, from the little bit that they've read of the story, they just said, man, I'm really loving it so far. And so I greatly appreciate that. And that leads us into the next updates. So the next updates that I have for you guys is Bloodbath is almost done. I need to get the typesetter, all of the images that are going to be utilized within the book. I guess the images I sent her weren't high enough definition quality for her. So we're going to be doing that, sending that to her. And then hopefully by the end of next week, that book will be ready to go. We'll be ready to upload it, which we need to upload it. I think it's the end of June is when that book needs to be done. So she's working on that. Vanessa is. And the book looks great. So for the lit RPG elements of the book, she used basically a font that will give you Game Boy vibes, like old school Game Boy Pokemon vibes. And, you know, that's where I just was like, hey, you choose what you think is good. And when I saw it on the page, I was like, you know what? I like it. Let's go with it. And I don't know what the font is for the main body, but again, it looks really great, and I'm super excited to have that done. So once she is done with that, she will dive directly into book 2. I got an email back from Daniel Worley, who is our editor, going over book 3. He is supposed to be done with the book next week. So that means that, you know, Vanessa will get book 3 immediately after, and those books will pretty much be ready to go for pre-order, which I'm super, it's so weird. It really is. It's a weird feeling that I finished book 3 in March. I took almost no time. If I remember correctly, I finished book 3 in March. I took no time off really, and I dove straight into Golem Master. And now the fact that we're basically at the end of April, it feels like Bloodbath was so long ago. It doesn't feel like it really, I don't know. It just seems like something that happened a long time ago. Maybe it's the fact that Bloodbath was written last year and we're just now at this point. Yeah, it's a weird feeling. So then let's get into the other feedback I got this week. So I had two different people reach out to me. And one was supposed to be a beta reader for book 3 of The Dying Breed, which was The Dying Breed Enslavement, as you guys know. And the book has already been out, right? It's already been published. But they, had a lot of stuff going on in their life, so that was fine. It didn't bother me. But they finished book 3 of Enslavement, and they just said it was good. But with the stuff that happens and the fact that it's running parallel with the story of book 2, it was a little hard for them to stay connected with the characters as much. And that totally makes sense to me. For those of you who have read book 3, you guys know that we do this jump in time, this 1,000-year jump back. But I absolutely love that jump back and some of my most favorite characters. So that makes sense from their point of view, right? And the other piece of feedback that I got was from another person who's been a great supporter of the channel, of my work. And they read a good majority of book 2, but had to put book 2 down. So with book 3, they finally reached out and said, that they have thoroughly enjoyed it so far. They are making their way through the dwarves of, the dwarves and what happens with them. So she's, the feedback she gave was great, and I really enjoyed it. But it was a great reminder to me, and it was an encouragement that, not every story resonates with every reader. Your series, your writing style isn't going to match up with everyone. And that was another reminder that I had this week as well, as I finished one audiobook, which was an absolute delight. I absolutely love this book, this story, and it was one that I was very pleasantly surprised with. And it was one where so far I could say that it may be my favorite book of the year so far. I really enjoy this book. I have not done my review yet of it, so that's why I'm kind of hesitant to really say what it is. And for those of you who are following on my Facebook, you guys know I've already put my books of the year projection out. And the reason I bring that up is because I went out of order. Now, I am currently going through Calamity by Rachel Nee Kirk, a great friend of ours. And she has written a really great book. I'm really enjoying it so far. The only drawback I have for her book, and I'll tell her this to her face, and I'll say it, I just didn't like the prologue. I did not like the prologue at all. I thought the prologue was too long. It was almost too detailed. It was just, I didn't like the prologue. But the rest of the book has been super fun, and I've really enjoyed it. And if I remember correctly, this is my first introduction to Andrea Parsnow, and I absolutely adore her. It's been a wonderful listen. And I only knew her obviously through her as a person, not necessarily as her performances, I should say. But now listening to her in Calamity has just given me so much more respect for her and her profession and what she does as a voice actress, because it is just incredible, some of the voices that she has produced for some of these characters within the story. So I bring all that up to say that I was reminded about my writing voice and your writing voice, if you're writing, where there's so many times that we may read or listen to a book and think, oh man, my writing is not that good, or my writing is not as good as this person, or it's not like that person's in the style and whatever. But we all have our own writing voice. Each writer has their own voice that's unique and different. And it may not be what you like. It may not be the style that you like, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. Doesn't mean that it's great. It just means it's different than yours, and it should be different. You shouldn't, to a certain point, you should have this unique writing style. I feel like that your readers know is different. I don't know. that's been the thought on my mind over this last week as I thought about that, as I listened to this audiobook, and I started to compare some things, and I was just like, dude, stop comparing. You can't compare yourself to that. There's a difference between the skills, like if you're trying to improve on writing humor in your books, if you're trying to improve on your main character's internal monologue. But if you were looking at it from a writing voice, a writer's voice, an author's voice, you can't compare that. You have to have your own voice, and you have to tell your own stories the way that you want to tell them. That's at least my thing. So anyways, this person gave me the feedback that was just so encouraging. So thank you to them for that encouragement, that feedback. I really look at the Dying Breed series as truly a dead series, which is kind of funny and ironic when you compare it to the title. But I still love that world, and I still love those characters, and I'm looking forward to getting back to them eventually. But with that being said, what other updates do I have for you guys? Let's see. So that was the Dying Breed. Oh, okay, that was what I was going with. So the same person that gave me the positive feedback on the Dying Breed, they're also writing and trying to come up with their own story. They have more of a kid's version, but they sent me this photo from Instagram where it was a person, an author, who is using different color sticky notes to indicate the different acts within their book. Here's act 1, and it had maybe like 12 different sticky notes in yellow, and you could see like they had the chapters numbered on each one. And then they had orange for act 2, and then bright neon pink for act 3 or whatever. And they had them all, up. And so she said, hey, what do you think about this? And I was like, well, one, I don't know any other author who doesn't use sticky notes and multiple notepads. And if there's anything that you can write on, whiteboards, whatever, your cell phone, anything that you can write a note on is going to have a note written on it. I have a whiteboard that's on my refrigerator that I normally use for grocery shopping. Like, hey, don't forget, to pick up milk at the store, right? But instead, I had an idea one night, and so I got up and I wrote down the note on the whiteboard. So that way I wouldn't forget it, right? So, I told her, I was like, well, I know people who have done something like that. I've seen people who have done something like that. The thing is that, there's multiple different ways for you to utilize planning out your story, or you could go discovery, right? Oh, yeah. Discovery writing. And what I told her was the biggest thing that I recommend people is stop trying to get so wrapped around the handle of how you want to plan out your story that it prevents you from writing your story. If you only have so much limited time in the day, I would much rather encourage people to devote that time to writing than planning out their story. Now, granted, let's say if you only have 30 minutes a day, right, on your lunch break to plan out your story, you can still plan out a story. Like, you literally can plan out a story within 2 weeks. That is an easy feat with only 30 minutes on a lunch break. You take your notepad with you on your lunch break. You sit down, you micro nuke your bullshit, and you start enjoying lunch, and then you start writing and you start doing things, right? In between your writing of the chapters, ask yourself, but then this happened. Well, the warrior was going to go fight the dragon, but then realized that the gateway to the dragon was enchanted by an ancient spell. He was then going to go to the local town to find the witch who had placed the spell on it. But if it wasn't for the curse that fell upon the witch by the wizard Shukubar, he would have been able to find it. And so you can sit down And you can plan out your story within 2 weeks. Easy. And then you take that 30 minutes to write, whether it's writing down on the pad of paper, writing on your phone, take your laptop in to work with you. If you have a way to write on Google Docs, like, man. And so that's what I just told her. I said, you know, there are so many times where, like I said at the beginning of this as well, my book needs to be 100,000. I've studied, I've read the blogs, I've done this. You've done everything but write the damn book. That's what you've done, right? Just write the fucking book. Just write the story. Go hang out with your characters that you talk about, but you don't actually mentally go and hang out with, right? Like once you get into the manuscript and you start writing, that's when you're hanging out with those characters. And I'm telling you right now, I fucking love Pepper, the main character of Golem Master. I want to hang out with Pepper. I love Brent. He's an annoying little shit, but he's funny as hell, in my opinion. And I love how he stands up for his friend. I love how he's just smitten by Summer, you know, and all these things. Nate Craven is a good buddy of mine. I would love to go roll around the mats with Nate Craven. You know, all of these different characters, I love spending time with them. So instead of just talking about writing my book or thinking about writing my book or doing, if I write the damn book, I get to spend time with those characters and I get to put them in these situations. And sometimes they surprise you with what they do to get out of it, right? But you don't get to that point unless you're fucking writing. So just write your story. Yeah. The Dying Breed book 2 audiobook is still in the works. There's no updates on that. And honestly, I'm not telling Tom to rush because the series is kind of dead right now. It's dormant. It is hibernating. There's not much traction on it. But I'm hoping that the Bloodbath series will give some new life into my authorship stuff. And yeah, so if you guys start seeing at the end of May or the end of June, all the advertisements, or if you start seeing a bunch of posts about in all the groups for me doing the free advertisement part, I'm sorry, the marketing part, I'm sorry. It's what I hate the most. I hate doing the marketing. I absolutely hate it. But it is what it is. So there is that. All right, what else? What other shout outs do we have? Shout out to R.A. Cooper and Miss Aoife, because we love you guys. You guys are awesome. Benjamin Curie is going to be doing a author interview with me, an author chat next week, next Sunday. You guys need to make sure you tune in because it's the topics we're going to talk about. I'm really excited. We're going to be very specific into magic systems and lit RPG. So if that's something that interests you guys, I would definitely say come check it out, hang out. I got to meet Ben at 20 Books to 50K, otherwise known as Authors Nation. Listened to him speak on a panel and was just blown away. And that's where I was like, man, this guy seems really cool, really knowledgeable. And then I got to sit down and have a cigar with him and Unwired up there, right there. Unwired, myself and Benjamin Curie, we got to sit down, have cigars. And then, which was really nice, I got to buy Benjamin Curie a cigar, which he loved. And then, if I remember correctly, he was nice enough to buy. Oh, yeah, he did. He bought one and then gave me one to enjoy. And that's when we had James Hunter, Eric Ugland, Brian Norden, and I feel really bad because I can't remember. There's like 2 or 3 other people with us, and I just forget their names. But it was such a great time. It was so much fun, and I really, really enjoyed it. And not Nathan Amy. Aaron Michael Ritchie, I think, might have been with us for. Aaron Michael Ritchie was with us as well. Yeah. And that's why I love this community. Great fucking people, man. We have some great fucking people in this community, from the authors, narrators, editors, moderators, just everyone has been wonderful. So as I got to sit down with Ben and just talk it up, I was like, man, I really want to do an author chat. And so we were supposed to do it earlier this year. Timing was really bad on both sides of the house, so we pushed it back. And now finally, we're going to be doing our author interview. So please make sure you guys come in. You guys can watch here on the YouTube channel. You can also watch in Lit RPG Legion or on my Facebook page for the Dying Breed series. And we would love for you guys to check it out. So with that being said, you guys, that is all the updates I have. I've taken up 30 minutes of your morning. And yeah, I don't know what else to say besides you guys are awesome. A huge shout out to the Patreon community, the Dying Breed up top. Again, you guys, thank you so much. You guys should be having your 3 chapters drop this week, Monday. And I'm excited for you guys to let me know your thoughts. And hopefully you guys are still enjoying the series. Hopefully it's something that you still love. And I'm really excited for the following developments that are going to be coming up. And I hope that they take you guys by a little surprise. So with that being said, I wish you all a great weekend. Thank you guys for your support. If you have any questions about my writing stuff, if you have anything that you would like me to talk about more, please leave a comment, leave a suggestion, and yeah, we'll hopefully get to it. So I hope and look forward to seeing you guys next week. You guys take care. Bye.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here I'm scream. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I'll get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just visit. Have no shame, I admit it. Looking right at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now. Swear to God, man, I'ma make it soon. Silence all the haters as they see us making moves. I do what I want, so I got nothing to prove. Staying motivated, teaching others what to do. I'm staying focused, my mind is open. They start to notice that I'm in motion. There is no potion, you're not just chosen. It takes devotion to stay composed, man. Never stop, there ain't no time to fall. Try to live, get it up, you got one life to pop. Thinking big, never small, cause you gotta want it all. When you finally get that call, you get ready, take it on. Need a hand out, I already stand out. Starting to advance now, ready to expand now. You don't have a chance now, cause we're in demand now. Make it 5 grand now, feeling in command now. They're looking right at me to see if I succeed, to see if I believe. They're looking up to me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now.